Okay, last test review for this. Okay, solve the system by graphing. So you're trying to find where the lines cross, and that's the answer. Okay. So first one's pretty easy. The y is by itself, so you put a 1 mb. So the slope will be 1, and then the y-intercept will be -1. I just put 1 under that. So the y-intercept, you're at -1, and then from there you're up 1, forward 1. Okay, now in the other one's similar. You got y by itself, mb, so that's nice. You're ready to go on that. So slope, -3/1. The y-intercept is -5. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then from there you're down 3, forward 1. So down 1, 2, 3, forward 1. You can't do it again, that's fine. Okay, the lines are going to cross. You'll just have to make the point yourself and determine what the point is. Okay, so you see they're crossed. Now on the x-axis, here's 0 in the middle, you're at -1. Okay, you're right under it. Then on the y-axis, okay, here's 0 in the middle, you're at -1, -2. So you're at -2. Okay, -1, -2. Okay, number 2. Y is by itself, so you have your m and your b right there. So slope is 4/3. The y-intercept, on the other hand, is -2. So 1, 2. Then from there we go up 4, forward 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that's your first line. Okay, now the other one you need to go to scratch paper because y is not by itself. Get the y by itself. It's the y. I don't care where the y's at. You got to get that by itself. Now it's +3. It's a positive multiplier. Make that plus negative out there. It's a positive. You put check. So you don't have to do a sign switch. You have to take out your x by adding it and make a 0x. It doesn't matter where y is at. That's what you have to get by itself. So 3 times y, then it's going to be 4x plus your -6. Now divide everything by 3. And remember, no decimals. Okay, 4 divided by 3 is a decimal, so I keep that 4/3x. -6 divided by 3 is -2. So you got your m, you got your b. Okay. So I started a video here. I've started a video. We want to say hi on it. Hammer's in the house, guys. Okay. All right. See you, man. Okay. So slope, y-intercept. So slope's 4/3. -2 is the y-intercept. Well, -2 I'm already at. Okay, 4/3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 over there. So pretty much it's the same line. So that's IMS. Okay, number 3. Y equals 3x minus 4. The y is by itself, so MB. So slope 3/1. The y-intercept -4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Then up 3/1. So 1, 2, 3, 1. 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay. So there is your first one. Now the second one, you're going to have to use scratch paper. Now you might not see it at first glance, but the y is not by itself in that. Okay. So scratch paper, number 3. See, because here's the equals. Remember, it's the y you have to get by itself. It has a multiplier of 1, so check it. Then you make that positive 3x, so you put a 0x and add 3x. Okay, so 1 times y, so you have 3x plus 1. Then divide by 1, and then 3 divided by 1 is 3x, 1 divided by 1 is 1. So you have mb. So the slope is 3 over 1, and the y-intercept is positive 1. So positive 1 is your y-intercept, so they're not going to be the same line. But what's going to happen is they run parallel. That's where you write no solution. Okay, so that is no solution. You can just put add S on that. Okay, now you're solving without graphing. Okay, y equals 2x substitution. Y equals 2x minus 1. Then we have 2x plus 2y equals 22. So you're finding where the x and y is at without graphing. Now you have a letter by itself. That's what substitution is. You have your base of y, and then the replace expression is 2x minus 1. So you write your other equation, 2x plus 2y equals 22. So the y is my base, so it's the y that I parenthesize. And I put 2x minus 1 up above for the replace. Okay, so 2x plus 2, and then 2x minus 1 equals 22. Okay, minus 1, make it plus negative, because you have to distribute the positive 2. So you drop your plus. 2 times 2x is 4x. 2 times negative 1 is negative 2. Then you need to add the 2x. That's right there. Okay, so your x's are on the same side, so you v those. So it's going to be 6x plus negative 2 equals 22. So you have times and plus, so you got to add 2 to get the negative 2 to 0. 6 times x equals 24. Then you take out the times 6 with the divide by 6. 24 divided by 6 is 4. So you get 4. Now you go into your replace and remove the x from there, and then just put 4. See, y is equal to 2 times 4 minus 1. Well, 2 times 4 is 8, and then minus 1 is going to give you 7. So 4, 7. Okay, number 5, negative 2x plus 5y equals negative 54. Then we have y equals negative 3x minus 13. Okay, so y is your base again, because that's where you have it by a letter by itself. Remember, base could be y or x. Now that I'm not graphing, it doesn't have to be the y. So now I write negative 2x plus 5y equals negative 54. So the y is the base. And you replace it. This is the replace expression. So negative 3x minus 13. So you have negative 2x plus 5, and then the parentheses is filled in with the expression negative 3x minus 13 equals negative 54. Then make that plus negative, so you just drop the plus straight down and distribute your positive 5. 5 times negative 3 is negative 15x, and then the 5 times the negative 13 is negative 65. Then you add your negative 2x. Okay, so your x's are on the same side. Okay, this is going to be a really crappy looking answer, but that's fine. Okay. Okay, so it's going to be negative 17x plus negative 65. Now you got times and the negative outside, so you take that out with a plus. Negative 54 plus 65 is 11. And you have negative 17 times x. It's going to be a wacky looking answer. So divide by negative 17. X equals. Okay, 11 divided by negative 17. Okay, you can round that if you want to go. If you want to make it into an exact answer, click second. PRB equals negative 11/17. So that's your x. Now to find your y, you go into the replace. You take out the x, you put negative 11 over 17. And then y is going to equal negative 3. X is gone now. So negative 3 times negative 11 ABC 17 minus 13. Okay, and I got negative 11 and 1/17. Okay, kind of a weird looking answer, but it's right. Okay, number 6. Now you're solving by elimination, so there's going to be no base. Okay, so if there's no base, I line up my columns. Okay, make that minus, plus, negative. Okay, so add first, and before you write anything down, make sure you see if either the x's or the y's add to 0. So that's 8x. 2 plus negative 3 is negative 1y, so nothing adds to 0. You don't have a match, so you engineer the times, times, times. So you got a 5 here, so you can go 5, 5, 5 on top. You have a 3 here, 3, 3, 3 on the bottom. So 5 times 3x is 15x. 5 times 2y is 10y. Then I take 5 times 41. That's going to be 205. Now on the bottom, 5 times 3 is 15x. Negative 3y times 3 is negative 9y. And then you take your 24 times your 3, 72. Okay, let's remake these. Now 15 plus 15 is 30, 10 plus negative 9 is 1, but you have a match here. So if you have a match, if you make one of them into a negative, then it will add to 0. But then you got to make the negative 19 into positive and the 72 into a negative. The opposite there too. So 10 plus 9 is 19y. 205 plus negative 72 is 133. So I take the 0x, takes the x out, you got the times, and you divide by 19 on both sides and hope for the best. Okay, so 133 divided by 19 is 7. Glad I got that answer instead of a decimal. Now to find the x, just take your original first equation. 3x plus 2y equals 41. So you're going to replace your y with 7. Y is not still going to be there. It's 7. So 2 times 7 is 14. Don't put 14y. It's 3x plus 14 equals 41. Then we got times and plus. So you take out the plus with a minus. 3 times x equals 27. Then you divide by 3. And that's 9. Okay. Okay, number 7. 2x plus 5y equals 2. 3x minus 5y equals 53. Okay, so I don't have the base. Make that plus, draw the columns. Remember, that's a negative 5 down on the bottom. Now add. See if you get anything that's 0. That's 5x, and 5 plus negative 5 is 0. Okay? So we're not going to be doing what we did here. So 5x, and then 2 plus 53 is 55. So 0y is removed. Okay, see, I already had something that added to 0. So now I divide each side by 5. 55 divided by 5 is 11. Okay, now use your top equation. So 2x plus 5y equals 2. So you have your answer for x, so you put a times there, so you know what operation that is, and it's 2 times 11. 2 times 11 is 22. The x is gone, so you have 22 plus 5y equals 2. So you have plus and times. So take out your 22 with a minus 22. 2 minus 22 is negative 20. Then I divide by 5. Negative 20 divided by 5 is negative 4. Okay, graph the inequality. This is where you see that symbol. You have to do your test. Okay, the true-false test. Now we got to get the line down first. Do you have y by itself? Yes, so this is easy. No scratch paper needed. Slope, negative 3 over 1. Y-intercept, positive 4. So on the y-axis, 1, 2, 3, 4. Then from there you go down 3, forward 1. Okay, now, this greater than sign does not have the equals to line. It's just greater than, so that would be a dash line. Try to remember that. It's not a huge deal if you don't, but yeah. Just about lost my battery, and that would have torqued me off. Now you run your test, okay? So you randomly pick a point. Any point anywhere. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, 2. Okay, so that's 4, 2. So on the test I used the MB. And then Y, just take out your Y, replace it with 2. And take out your X, replace it with 4. So this side you just have 2. Now on this side you have to find the operations. Negative 3 times 4 plus 4. It's negative 8. Well, the positive is always bigger than the negative, so, and it eats the positive, so that's got to be true. So that point's true. That means any point over there is true. Any point on the other side of this line I made is false. So you shade the true side. Okay, number 9. 4x minus 3y is less than or equal to 6. Now, you got to run the test, but you got to use your scratch paper to get the y by itself. And there's something you need to remember here. Your y is multiplied by a negative, so you need to make that positive, and then the outsides go opposite. Negative 4, negative 6, and the symbol needs to flip. Okay. So you take out your negative 4x by adding 4x. Then you make your 0x and you add 4x there. So we have 3 times y. 0 plus 4 is 4. And then plus your negative 6. So if you have to make that opposite to get your y multiplier to a positive, the symbol also needs to switch. Then you divide everything by 3. Okay. Now if you don't switch the sign and you just go start, that's fine, but then when you divide you got to flip the sign then. Okay, sign has to flip sometime. 4 divided by 3 is a decimal, so we're going to keep that 4/3 x. Negative 6 divided by 3 is negative 2. So that's M, that's B. So I'm good. Slope, y-intercept. So it would be 4/3 and negative 2. Okay, so negative 2 up 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Alright, now this sign's got the line, so it's going to be a full line. When you run your test, use the equation you rewrote it into, or the inequality you rewrote it into. Don't use that. Use the MB. Okay? So y greater than or equal to 4/3 x plus negative 2. So notice how I'm not going to the top here because that wasn't where I had the MB. Okay, so x, let's go 1, 4. Okay. So you take your y, replace it with 4. Then you take your x out, replace it with 1. So you have 4. Then you take 4 ABC 3 times 1 plus negative 2. I got negative 2/3. Now I know that looks weird, but the positive is always bigger than the negative. And it eats it, so it's true. So true, and over here is false. Since that point's true, every point over there is true, every point here is false. Okay, now for the last part. Find the region that represents the solution to the system. The lines are down, okay? D is this little part here, okay? So, I'm going to pick a point inside A. Go here, that's inside of the A, okay? So it would be 2, the point I picked, then 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 4. Now make a table here, and this is for doing the A. So on one side I go y greater than or equal to 1/4 x plus 7, and then y less than or equal to negative 1/2 x plus 1. Okay, so 4 replaces the y, and put it times, and then x replaces 2. So you have 4, then you take 1ABC4 times 2 plus 7. 7.5. Now that's false. Look at 4 and 7. Okay, 7's bigger. That's false. So I don't do anything more with A. Okay, I don't even do the other side of the table. So B, go down here and B somewhere. Make a coordinate. We'll go -3. Okay, I'll go here, I'll go back, I'll go left 3, so that'd be -3, then down 2, so -2. See, because on X, -1, you count by negatives when going to the left, and you count by negatives when going down. Okay, so Y greater than or equal to 1/4 x plus 7, y less than or equal to 1/2 x plus 1. So -2 replaces your y, and then -3 replaces your x. So you have -2, then you just go 1, ABC4 times -3 plus 7. 6 1/4. Now again, that's a false right away. I mean, it's eating the negative. How could that be? Okay, so it's not B. Okay, now C. Find something inside of C. What's up, Doug?
Excuse me, can you make sure that door's locked down?
Yeah, I'll shut them all off and all that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yep. So -1, -2, -3, -4, -5. Okay. That's your X. Then your Y. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Okay. And you try it again. And if C doesn't work, obviously D's the answer. D's just that little part up there. Okay, so Y is 8. X is -5. So we have 8. Then I take 1, ABC4 times -5 plus 7, and I get 5 3/4. Now just compare the 5 3/4 means it's just in between 5 and 6. So if it's 8 and 5, 8's bigger, that's true. Okay. Now you go over here and do the same thing. Y is 8, and then the X is -5. Okay, so I take -1 ABC2 times -5 plus 1, and I got 3.5. That's false, okay? So D's the answer. Circle D, and you're just coloring in that little part up there. That's it, okay?